So we're back to solving possible practice problems for the keystone in this set. And today we're looking at a pattern in Shannon's phone charges as shown in the table below. So you can see she's got a number of minutes and she's got the amount charged for her phone charged. If the pattern continues, which graph represents the pattern in the charges? In order to work on this one, we have to think which one is our x value, which one is our y value. And as we can see by all the graphs, the number of minutes is our x value, and the amount charged is our y value. So just for myself, I'm going to put an x here and a y here, and that just tells me, reminds me which one is which axis. If I look at this, we have, let's see, 2 minutes gives me 80 cents. So 2 minutes is this line here, and 80 cents. Well, that one looks pretty good because it looks like it's less than $1. 2 minutes, 80 cents, that one's more. 2 minutes, that one looks like it's more. And 2 minutes, that one is definitely more. So very easily we could tell that A should be the correct answer. Let's just double check a couple more points just to make sure. So we have 10 minutes at $4. So 10 minutes is here, up at $4. So that makes sense. We also have 10 minutes here. 10 minutes is $4. This one definitely, it's not D for sure. And 10 minutes at $4, it's definitely not C. So A would be the correct answer. Okay, how'd you do on that one? Hopefully you could read the graph pretty well. Let's look at the next question. So the next question we have... Okay, so the set of ordered pairs shown below is a relation that is a function of x. So remember relations and functions. Which ordered pairs could also be included so that it remains a function? So if you remember, function means that each x value has a different y value. So we don't want our x values to repeat. In this case, we have -5. We need to really concentrate on -5, -4, -3, and -2. We already have those values. This ordered pair in A already has a -5, so that says no. B looks good because we have a -6 and a -1. C looks good. It does not look good because we've got a -2. And D, we've got a -3. So the only one that works is B, and that gives our x values different y values. So if all our x values are different, we still remain with a function. Questions? Go back and review what domain and range mean and what a function means. Okay? Our next one looks like, let's see, these graphs. A function models the height y in feet of a car on a roller coaster based on the time x in seconds. The range consists only of positive numbers less than 100. Which graph could represent the function? So first of all, we have to make sure that all our y values are positive values less than 100. Only positive numbers. Well, if I look at number C, look at C, letter C here. This piece dips into the y negatives. So that one definitely makes no sense. So C is eliminated. Okay? Then it says height in feet of a car based on time x. Let's see. So less than 100. So if I look at A, this equals 100. So A also is excluded. I would also exclude B because of this point here. How come? Think about a roller coaster. When I get on the roller coaster, am I exactly sitting on the ground? Probably not. Usually we have to go up some steps to get on that roller coaster. That roller coaster is not going to be right on the ground, especially in the middle of the ride. So for me, the D is the correct answer. So it's between 0 and 100, only positive values in the range. Any questions on that one? I hope your roller coasters don't go below the ground like C does. The next one that we're going to look at, okay, says the table below shows the relationship between the number of tickets sold for a concert and a theater's net profit in dollars. So we're talking about tickets sold versus their profit. And if you remember, profit has to do with how much is sold and what our expenses are. So how much was sold, and then we subtract out any expenses that are incurred that we have. So which graph could represent the relationship between the number of tickets, X, and the theater's net profit, Y? Okay, so at 150 tickets sold, we have a net profit of negative 500, so we're still not making any money. At 200 tickets sold, we have no profit at all. That's good, that's our break-even point. And then we have at 225, we have a $250 profit, and at 400 tickets sold, we have a $2,000 profit. Because both my tickets sold and my net profit are increasing, that means I've got a positive slope. I have a positive slope, that means that B and D are out because they're both negative slopes. Okay? A starts at the 0 for the y-axis, so if I sell 0 tickets, I'm not going to make a profit at all. I'm going to have just the expenses incurred. For C, this looks like it's negative X values. So I'm selling negative tickets, which really doesn't make sense. So you really have to know how to read the graph and know which is the positive and which is the negative. So A is the correct answer for this one. I hope you got that one. That one wasn't too bad, but you had to know how to interpret the graph a little bit. Okay, for the next one, we have a truck that left a warehouse at 1 p.m. The truck traveled 232 miles by 5 p.m. The truck continued traveling at the same average speed. How many miles altogether did the truck travel by 6:30 p.m.? A lot of words in there, but there's some things that we need to take care of. We need to understand. So, he left the warehouse at 1 p.m. It traveled 232 miles by 5 p.m. That's 4 hours later. Okay, continuing traveling at the same average speed. So we have to figure out what average speed means. And then how far did the truck travel by 6:30 p.m.? So there's a lot of information that we have to think about. Okay, so 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., as I said, is 4 hours. And he traveled 232 miles. So to find the average speed, we take 232 miles divided by 4. Because that's 4 hours. So 232 divided by 4 is 58. So 58, right? Because 4 goes into 23 5 times with 3 left over. 4 goes into 32 8 times. So 58 miles per hour was his average speed. We want to know how much further he traveled in the next hour and a half. Well, 58 times an hour and a half, that gives us 58 plus 29 is 87 miles. And it says to add that to 232 to get the total distance traveled. So I got 319 miles. So that's C. Notice how they put in some interesting choices here. So 58 is the average speed that the truck was traveling at. So if you pick that one, then you didn't go far enough. 87 is how much the truck traveled in the next hour and a half. So, you know, that one's not right. And then 319 is the right one. And I think if you... I'm not sure how they got the 348, but that's just too much. But at least it's in the ballpark as the 319, so something else there to confuse you. So be careful. Make sure you read the problem thoroughly and you double check your work. Okay? Questions? Bring them all to class.